Today, we'll be talking about an old story, and the title of today's talk is Where Are My Blessings? Where are my blessings? Oftentimes we feel like we're doing everything right, we're doing stuff, but yet we're not getting the blessings that were promised us. Where are my promised blessings? So that's what we want to talk about today. So very briefly, let me remind you of an old story that we all know. It's a story in the Bible, the story of Adam and Eve. And when we tell the story, normally, we always blame Eve, or we blame Adam, depending on what angle you're coming from. But let's recap the story. So here's Adam, here's Eve, first humans on earth. God made them perfect, right? And God says, well, I want you to till the ground. I want you to walk the garden, take care of the garden. And so Adam, who was the first creation, spent all his time with God. He named the animals. God must have showed him all the wonderful things that he's made and how they operate and how they work. But eventually God said, no, it is not good for the man to be alone. So what does he do? He makes him a woman out of the ribs, the side. Which means that she's not supposed to be below him, nor is she supposed to be above him. She's supposed to be equal, right? And that was God's intention for the woman. But guess what happens? After Adam and Eve sins, she lost that. Why? You have to remember, inspired writing tells us that Eve was supposed to be by her husband. So Adam is about being busy doing his work. Eve says to think to herself, I can do something too. I want to get some work done. And so she wanders off on her own. And eventually she meets the devil. Now, we know the story, what happens. But what I'm interested in is what happens after this sin. After God comes back and God says, Adam, where are you? What have you done? And Adam says, oh, the woman you gave to me, she made me to eat the fruit. And Eve says, oh, the serpent that you made, you know, all the blame game goes around. God actually eventually says to Eve, from now on, your desires will be after the man. And what I wanted to share with you was a little write-up I read by Ellen G. White, and it inspired me and reminded me perhaps maybe I'm falling into the same problems. You know, Eve desired to rise above her station. Eve desired to want something more. Sounds a bit familiar, right? The devil says, I will arise and be like the Most High. Remember? And guess what happened to him? He wanted to go high, and he came low. And so the same thing with Eve. Eve wanted something more. She wanted to be in charge. She wanted independence. She wanted control. She wanted, her curiosity drove her to discover more things. Perhaps Adam had been the one telling her everything. Oh, you know, this is the name of this animal. That's the name of that animal. That's how stuff works. This is how God wants it to do. And maybe she got tired of all that stuff. She said, well, I need to discover something for myself. I need to figure out something new. I want to have my own story to tell. I want to bring something to the table. And so she wanders on. And that is why eventually when she meets the devil and she seems to have gotten new information, she felt very confident, and then she went to her husband, check this out. I got stuff that you don't know. I've discovered some truth that you haven't. We've been believing this, but I found out that there's more. Eat this fruit and you will find out more. But we know what happened. Eventually, she fell below her station. She wanted more, but she ended up less. Eve had been perfectly happy by her husband's side in her Eden home. But like restless modern Eves, she was flattered with the hope of entering a higher sphere than that which God had assigned her. In attempting to rise above her original position, she fell far below it. A similar result will be reached by all who are unwilling to take up cheerfully their life's duties in accordance with God's plan. In their efforts to reach positions for which He has not fitted them, many are leaving vacant the place where they might be a blessing. Wow. Listen, in their efforts to reach positions for which He has not, as God, has not fitted them, many are leaving vacant the place where they might be a blessing. We're asking, where's my blessing? Wow. My blessing is in the vacant spot that I have walked away from. Each of us, whether you believe it or not, God has a plan for each of us. God has a plan for you. And that plan, you have your slot in this whole wide world of all the billions of people. God has a perfect slot for everyone, and He wants you to be there. And in that slot, in that position which God has placed you or has prepared for you, He has left and kept your blessings. He has filled that spot with blessings beyond your wildest imaginations. But when you say, no, I want to rise, I want to reach positions, I want to have influence, I want to go places, and those places are not where God has fitted for you. You will get there, but your blessings won't be there. Your blessings are left behind in the spot that God has prepared for you. This morning, I just want to encourage you. You need to spend time and figure out, what is it that God wants me to do? What is it? Where is my position? If you're looking for blessings in your life, if you're looking for all the promised blessings that you've read about, that you've been told about, and you can't find them by now, perhaps you need to go back to the position God wants you to be in. I promise you, if you will do what He asks of you, if you will be in the place where He wants you to be, if you will do the things He wants you to do, you will find all of the blessings you can possibly imagine. Blessings that will stagger your own imaginations. They have prepared and kept waiting for you. And so I read this stuff and it reminded me, Eve lost her blessings because she wanted to rise. Just like the devil said, I'm going to rise and be like the Most High. And now he's ended up in the bottomless pit. Many of us have missed out on our blessings in life because we have chosen positions for which we were not fitted for. We've pursued dreams and goals for which we're not fitted for. If you know what your goal is, if you know what your mission is, if you know what God is calling you to do, I'm promising you, if you haven't found your blessings, you need to go back, because your blessings, much more blessings, are waiting for you back there.